Most people think sugar is only a problem because it causes diabetes, and that is true. But the biggest danger might be what it does to your blood vessels. So, what are blood vessels? Blood vessels are the channels that carry the blood throughout your body, like a closed loop, like a closed circuit. So, here's the story. Every time you eat something sugary, the journey begins in your mouth. The sugar quickly dissolves in your saliva and travels down to your stomach. And here in the stomach, the food gets mixed and it doesn't do much with it. It temporarily acts like a holding tank before sending the food into the small intestine. And here in the small intestine, the sugar gets broken down into tiny molecules called the glucose. And the glucose gets absorbed into your bloodstream through the intestinal walls. Now, here's where the story gets even more serious. Why? Because your blood vessels are lined with an incredibly thin layer of cells called the endothelium. Think of it as a delicate inner coating that keeps your blood flowing smoothly and protects the walls. Now, when you eat something which has high sugar and also very frequently, the blood sugar spikes over and over again. This constant and frequent rise begins to damage the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. Your arteries are supposed to be smooth and flexible so the blood can flow easily. Think of it more like a slow corrosion happening on the inside of your arteries. But your constant daily high blood sugar can damage the vessel lining through glycation, through oxidative stress, and even inflammation. What's glycation? This is important. I want you guys to know this. Even though our body uses glucose for energy, too much of it can become harmful if it stays in our bloodstream for a longer periods of time. That's why our body works constantly to keep the blood sugar within a tight range. Why? Any guesses? Because of this process called glycation. Think of it like a biological rest. When there's too much sugar floating inside the blood, those glucose molecules start bumping into important proteins in our body. Proteins that make up our blood vessels, our hormones, our enzymes, and even the hemoglobin in our red blood cells. Sometimes the sugar stick to those proteins and this chemical reaction is called glycation. And these molecules are very strongly linked to aging and many other chronic diseases. For example, when collagen in your skin becomes glycated, the fibers become stiffer, which contributes to wrinkles and loss of skin elasticity. When the proteins in your blood vessels becomes glycated, the vessel walls can become damaged and less flexible over time. Now back to the heart issue. Once the lining of a blood vessel becomes damaged, the body tries to repair it, and as a response, immune cells are sent to the area as part of the inflammatory response. At the same time, the cholesterol particles which are circulating in the blood can slip into the damaged vessel wall and become trapped there. The immune cells try to clean this up by swallowing up the cholesterol, but as they do, they slowly turn into what scientists call it as a foam cells. Over time, these foam cells accumulate and form fatty deposits called plaques inside your artery wall. You might have heard of this as plaque buildup in the arteries. Over many years, these plaques can grow larger, making the arteries narrower and stiffer. Blood has a harder time flowing through it, and sometimes plaque can suddenly rupture. When that happens, the body forms a blood clot at the site. If the clot blocks the blood flow to the heart, it causes a heart attack. If it blocks the blood flow to the brain, it causes a stroke. So sugar isn't just about calories or weight gain. Repeated spikes in blood sugar can quietly damage the blood vessels that keep your heart and brain healthy. Over time, this damage contributes to atherosclerosis, plaque buildup, and eventually life-threatening events. Heart disease isn't just common, it's the leading cause of death worldwide. More than any other single disease, it affects the people of all ages, from young adults to the elderly. And the risks are compounded by the poor diet, inactivity, and chronic conditions like diabetes. This is why controlling blood sugar, maintaining healthy blood vessels, and living a heart-conscious lifestyle isn't just about feeling good today. It can literally save your life in the long run.